Hi Glenn, this is Dave. We're the NC Beer Guys. We promote NC Craft Beer online at ncbeerguys.com. We do these videos to introduce you to some of the great beers available across the state, maybe to a new brewery, or you just might never know what we might introduce you to. We've got something kind of new for us today too.
That's right. Today we're drinking the Elysium Bier de Garde, which has a multi-sweet Belgian character and comes to us from the Broomtail Craft Brewery in Wilmington. We were just there. And it's located at 6404 Amsterdam Way, number 100. It's a little bit off the main road, but it's not that hard to get to. It's just off Market Street north of town. Now, Rate Beer tells us that a traditional classification for the farmhouse ales of France and their sometimes untraditional New World counterparts, Bier de Garde is today generally a warm fermented strong pale ale. Okay. Sometimes blonde, sometimes amber, and has much in common with Belgian ales. Medium bodied with hints of caramel or toffee. Solid smell and flavor characteristics. The name means beer for keeping. And pretty much if it's an ale like that, you can maybe cellar it, especially if it's a strong ale.
Well, and that's where they come from. Traditionally, they were just put in the cellar.
Oh, okay.
To stay for a long time. That's the farmhouse in the cellar.
Oh,
They
right.
kept them for the next season as long as they could.
Okay. So we recently visited Broomtail and talked to Barry Owings, the co-owner and head brewer, along with his wife, Lisa, who is the CEO and head brewer. Broomtail said it was born out of love of science and art of creating a great craft beer. We believe in local craft beer movement and are proud to call Wilmington, North Carolina home. We invite you to go along on this ride with us. We are the little guys, the idealistic entrepreneurs that have a dream. Our goal is to bring together a community of craft beer enthusiasts that appreciate the art of great beer, along with the fellowship and friendships made along the way. Had a little bit of a pause there. The Owings have been brewing for years, along with their friends and business partner Randy and Kim Shelton. They brewed their first batch of beer in a kit way back in the early 90s, and I asked them when we were there, how the heck did you get that stuff in the 90s? It's not like you could have went online and went, oh, okay, brewing supplies. Or back then, rotary dial, pick up the phone and go, hi, operator, can you give me a homebrew supply store somewhere in the U.S.?
That's right.
So I don't think it worked that way.
But you know, we've heard that same story so often. That started from a little kid, from a birthday party, or from and nobody ever had any idea what it would blossom into. It was just something for kids.
Yep.
And a little kid, and it turns into breweries all across the state. We've heard that.
It turns into a passion. They've been friends ever since, and now they are a couple of business partners and brewing sidekicks. Over the past couple of years, they made some of their favorite brews and took them to a few parties. Everyone loved the beer. Then some neighbors had a big summer bash and asked for a keg of beer, which was theirs was the first to kick, and everyone kept asking for more, and that's a really good sign. That was the first sign this group needed to start Broomtail. Along with the love of great beer, there is a science and art to make great beer, one that we take very seriously. We look forward to sharing our passion for craft beer with you. So this is coming in. We've already posted the NC Beer Buzz, so you should go check that out so you can get the whole story of how they got started and what they're doing and pretty much their entire line of beers. So now with this beer, you know, it's going to be a Bier de Garde, and like I said, very, very few breweries in the state are doing Bier de Gardes. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's...
Pony Source has one I know that's kind of well-renowned.
Right.
And others have like one batches.
Yeah, they've done a single of them, and then they were pretty much done with it.
But this is one of their flagships at
good. And we know that, you know, when we've tried a few of the beers at the brewery, they did talk about, and it's in the buzz, about how they break down the water, because water is a very important component when you're brewing beer. Mm-hmm. They break it down to pure H2O, and then what they do is they make that water profile, they match the water to the style of beer. So you're getting a pure, not only a pure style of water, but you're also getting a pure style of beer.
Because they make the water become, through analysis, whatever the water should have been in the local region that beer came from. And that's what I understood.
Yeah.
And they break the water down to the very basics, and they add back to it the lime, minerals, whatever
it is to get to that profile of that region.
Right. So they're going to should have, doing it that way, some of the most genuine brand styles.
Yep. And very clean beers.
Right.
Not that the other ones aren't. I'm not saying that at all.
And he's not saying clean versus dirty. He's talking about clean being fresh and without additive and that kind of thing.
What the water can sometimes add to it. Mm-hmm. And we know that from our home brewing.
So I'm going to say what you say to me sometimes. Can we drink the beer, or are you just going to keep talking? See, that really works.
It's right back at me now. Can we try this? Okay, so now I'm
A
getting
little Belgian.
that Belgian yeast, a little bit of a caramel aroma though.
Yeah.
Unless it's the Belgian yeast. I could do that too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is nice.
Oh. Oh yeah. We don't know the ABV, do we?
I bet it's on this little sticker here.
8.1. I was about to say, I'm like, I'm getting that. It's on a burn, but you know when you got a little bit of a strong. I mean, it is a strong pale ale.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that it was a little bit more. It's actually a little bit rich.
You know, one of my favorite styles, of course, is the triple,
Mhm.
which is the strong Belgianness and sweetness. And this is so much like a triple in my experience of it.
Right.
No, it's not a triple.
It's not a triple.
But it leads you to that same place with the flavor palette.
Well, you got to think if you break down what the style is of calling it a strong pale ale, and a triple is basically taking a Belgian. You know, it's a Belgian ale, but it's
3 times.
It's basically it's a higher ABV,
Mhm.
so you are getting it. I mean, we brewed a triple, so
And this Belgianness is great. It's not subtle, I don't think at all. The yeast profile.
no, it's coming out, and and that's nice. It's not overly done. I'm not getting because sometimes with Belgian beers,
Oh yeah,
it's a little bit too much. And I mean, and sometimes I get that with maybe some. I get them with some triples, where it's just that bell. You know, it's basically the banana and clove and such. And this is it's a great balance to that.
And it certainly lets the malt still come through.
Yes.
It doesn't mask the maltness that's behind it.
Right. Well, and part of that description that says caramel and toffee, that comes from the malt. So.
Well, no, that was a Bier de Garde in general. That was.
But I'm saying the style, though, the style says basically, I mean, as you brew it, depending on what malt you're using, it does have a little, so they did add a little bit more than just pale malt.
Right.
So,
I think this is a great example. So,
well, it's good. And
as Dave said, we had a great visit down there.
Oh, fantastic.
And you really need to, patronize your new guys. And as they said, they're the new guys in Wilmington. Of course, there are several new guys in Wilmington now in the brewing scene.
Yeah.
And they're one of several, but they're great. They're passionate about what they're doing.
Yes.
And you can tell that they're all in.
Yep.
He and his wife and this other couple, the Sheltons, they're just so into what they're doing that it's just, you just feel their joy.
Oh, sure.
From experiencing their customers enjoying their product. And that's just what you want to see everywhere.
Yep.
So when you're down in Wilmington and drinking, find the place other than where you usually drink. Stop by and try the Broomtail, and we'll ask them about the name. We won't get into that today, but ask them about where the Broomtail came from.
And also, if you're down in that area and you're at a restaurant and if they don't have it, ask them why they don't have it. Say, hey, where's some Broomtail?
Because they have some very few local accounts right now, but they're getting
Right, but they're going to grow. It's they're new and they're going to grow out, and that's great. I mean, they're going to grow at the pace that they feel comfortable with.
Sure.
Yep.
So this is David Lee, NC Beer Guys. Inviting you to check out the Broomtail product when you get to Wilmington.
Right.
And remember, drink local and keep your beer dollars in North Carolina.